Ladies and gentlemen, and today we got our first big update, well, kind of an update for Season 3 Reloaded. We got the blog post that is detailing everything that is coming next week. Next week we are getting Season 3 Reloaded, and in it we are getting a new raid, an update to the story, and everything in between from new apps, new weapons, all of that stuff. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is going over that blog post and discussing everything new that is coming within Season 3 Reloaded. So we have a whole blog post to go through, so without further ado, let's dive into it. So here is the Season 3 blog post. There's a couple of very interesting things as we go through here, but we're going to start out with the beginning. Basically, they start off with the story. Los Vaqueros and Los Almas Cartel not only rebuild, they also reload. So that's going off the story for Season 3. They also say, did we mention that we have the real MVP as a new operator? If you didn't see the teaser yesterday, we'll get to that in a second. So starting off with Modern Warfare 2, we are getting the raid episode 3. It says, follow Price, Farah, and Alex as they push deeper into the Soviet base in pursuit of Hadir and a missing armament. In other words, the nuke. We also have a Spec Ops mission called Defender at Hafid Port. Defend against increasingly challenging waves. This is kind of like the one that is already in the game. On top of that, the new 6v6 map that's called Alboran Hatchery. And we are also getting Giant Infected as well as 3v3 face-off. As we said before, this is the new raid. It says the threat moves underground in Spec Ops Raid Episode 3. The backstory of this, first of all, we see Alex here in this picture, which looks really dope. It says, after tracking down Alex, Gaz breaks off to establish comms with Laswell. In other words, it's still going to be 3 people, but Gaz is gone, Alex is in. Now, Price, Farah, and Alex must push deeper into the Soviet base, descending into a massive pit where they will navigate old terrain, tunnels, and electrically charged waters. Great. With Hadir and the missing warheads still on the loose, every minute counts. It also says, complete raid episode 3 to unlock Alex as an operator. That's a pretty good reward in my opinion. We also have the new Spec Ops mission, which you can see here. It's called Hafid Port, and it's just the defend mission. We've already talked about this one. We're getting the new map called Alboran Hatchery. It kind of looks like it's just on Ashika Island. Other than that, we don't really know what the whole map will be, but I will say if this is the entire map, it looks very, very small, which is a big thumbs up in my book. Now, Giant Infected, don't be mistaken, it's not in Warzone. It is on the battle maps that take place within Modern Warfare 2. 3v3 face-off, that one's pretty straightforward. It's just a 3v3 mode. After this, moving into Warzone 2. So it says, up your game with new features. The mid-season update expands tactical options with perk packages, plus deployable buy stations and Gulag entry kit. So we'll get to that. A new DMZ experience. Take a high risk and earn valuable rewards by entering the Koshi complex. I might be saying that wrong. So in other words, something like Building 21. And of course, Warzone ranked play, which they are putting out a separate blog post tomorrow. We'll go over that tomorrow in much more depth, but just know it's going to be different than what we've seen before, and we'll dive into that tomorrow. Now, as far as the new features, first off, we have perk packages. We talked about these at the Season 3 update. There's essentially 3 different perk packages, and essentially you can get them in supply boxes or at buy stations, which is pretty cool. Deployable buy stations, we know what those are. Essentially a buy station you can throw down and buy stuff at any time. And then a Gulag entry kit. Basically, if you've already used the Gulag, this gives you another crack at the whip, and then you can go back into the Gulag, try to win again. You can loot these, so on and so forth. I believe you can also buy them at buy stations as well. Then we have Go Dark in the new season DMZ experience, the Koshi complex. So it says somewhere in Al Mazrah, an underground Koshi complex is brewing something that could shift the entire DMZ as we know it. So this is going to be something very, very similar to what we saw with Building 21, much more close quarters, much more tight. And you're probably going to need a key to get into it, but I didn't see that one anywhere. So as we get into Warzone ranked play, what we have here is it's just basically going over how the SR works. So bronze is from 0 to 899 all the way up into the top 250, which is 10,000 plus. As far as rewards go, we're probably not going to be getting that until tomorrow. So we'll dive a little bit more into that once we see the blog post there. And then of course, they're just reminding us that Plunder is back. Nothing too special there. Then we have our general overview. It says earn season 3 weapon camos. So just like we had the weapon camos with the Path of Ronin event, we are going to have some within season 3 as well. 2 new secondary weapons and 1 sharp projectile. We'll get to that in a second. And the Reaper comes to Call of Duty. We'll also get to that. So first of all, with the weapon camos. So these are going to work very similar to what we saw with season 2 Reloaded. With the assault rifles, it's just get 250 operator kills. Battle rifles, 30 headshots. SMGs get 3 operator kills without dying 30 times. Shotguns, 30 hipfire kills. LMGs get 50 operator kills while mounted. That one sucks. Marksman rifles get 25 long shots. That also sucks. Sniper rifles, 30 long shots. Once again, it sucks. Sidearms, 50 operator kills, launchers, 40, and then melee, 30 operator kills from behind. So these are really cool that they add these into the game, and I hope that these keep coming and are a more frequent thing even in Call of Duty games in the future. Now, we also have our Season 3 new weapons. So first off, we have the F-Tac Siege. As you can see, this is a sidearm here. It says here that this is a highly customizable, fully automatic machine pistol. So I believe this is supposed to be like the Tech 9, but that is our first of the 2 new sidearms. The second one is the GS Magna. As far as this one goes, if the X13 auto is good for mobility and the F-Tac Siege strength is in versatility, this sidearm is now built for raw power. This weapon uses the exact same cartridge and most of the attachments as the semi-automatic 50GS, including the ability to go akimbo. In other words, this is a fully automatic Desert Eagle that you can put akimbo. If they're not careful, this thing is going to be absolutely ridiculous in Warzone. I'm very curious what happens with it. And then we also have our pointy thing. This is our throwing star. We've seen this in the game already with Path of Ronin. I'm surprised it's not already in the game, but hey, it's here. To unlock this thing, you have to get 50 kills using a throwing knife. Pretty straightforward. And then we get into our bundles. So the first one that we have here is quite literally Kevin Durant. He's coming to the game. It's definitely an interesting one, but just like they added the Messi bundle and things like that, this one is very similar to that. After this, we have the Throwback Audio Pack. This one is super, super interesting because I think this is going to update audio on a bunch of different weapons and have various different songs and stuff. I will really like this. I wish it was free though. It should be just something you can choose in the menu, but hey. And we have another Wraith bundle and then champion packs for CDL. There's also the World Series of Warzone Rat Pack. So yeah, that is Season 3 Reloaded. And as far as what my thoughts are on it, the good stuff is the raid. I've loved every single raid that they have added. Although there is not a ton of replayability for them, which is the big downside. I like that they're adding a new Spec Ops mission, even though it's just a defend one. It's nothing too special. But again, both of those are going to add story to the game. You know I love that. I can't wait to see where they're going next with that and next with Hadir. Of course, we will cover that once it comes out and we'll do a live playthrough of the raid, everything like that. So get excited for that coming next week. As far as the multiplayer stuff, we have the one new map, which looks like a small map going for like a shipment size map, maybe a little bit bigger. Curious to see what that one ends up looking like and playing like. And then we have the Warzone side of things, which seemingly is predominantly focused on the ranked play. And then the DMZ side of things, you have the new location, which again is a big plus in my books. And I'm interested to see how they work challenges in with that and everything with the new classified faction as well. So I'm curious what you guys have to say. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. You're new, subscribe, turn notifications on, all of that jazz. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're made